Let's speak to Omer Ozkizilcik. He's an analyst at the Security Department of the SETA Foundation think tank. Omer, thank you very much for talking to us from Ankara. Is this a formality that this pocket will be defeated and defeated quickly?
Actually, the Syrian Democratic Force, or the YPG, announced the operation towards the last ISIS pocket almost a year ago, and they are re-announcing the start, and it's a never-ending war actually there. And the Baghuz area, which is now discussed and said to be captured from ISIS soon, was actually captured by the Syrian Democratic Force several times and lost again to the ISIS. So if we look into the past, we see that the YPG has not an interest to eliminate the last ISIS pocket, as the ISIS presents also a legitimation for them to be active in the region. However, with the US withdrawal, the US administration has a high interest in eliminating the last territorial area of ISIS in this pocket. So this time it might end, but it's not for certain. And there are also negotiations going on. ISIS members are demanding a free rescue evacuation to the Iraqi desert from the Baghuz area. And this was accepted by the YPG, but the US intervened and prevented this from happening. So what we are now seeing is that ISIS is putting up its first resistance, and with the US pressure and the huge US airstrikes in the region, this time it may be the last time.
So what does this mean for future security? Because just picking up on just that small detail, important one that you gave us about the negotiations taking place for some Daesh members to be allowed to go to desert areas of Iraq, because that doesn't solve the long-term security. You'll have heard these reports that there are French snipers, for example, in that part of the Middle East who are picking off one by one Daesh terrorists who they think could present future security issues to a Western country, in this case, France. The long-term security here is still something that's completely unclear. Would that be correct?
Yes, for sure, because we have certain issues. First of all, ISIS might be defeated in territorial means, but they have still cells, and they are gone underground in Syria and Iraq. They are conducting many terrorist attacks. They are actually waging a guerrilla warfare in Iraq and in Syria. And there are also heat maps that show us that in Iraq, ISIS is mainly conducting attacks in Sunni Arab populated areas. And in Syria, they are only conducting attacks in YPG-held areas. So to eliminate ISIS and to maintain the enduring defeat of ISIS, the road course of ISIS has to be eliminated first. And there is also actually a successful project, and this is the areas liberated by the Syrian opposition and Turkey in Al-Bab, Jarablus, and others in the Euphrates Shield areas. Actually, there are no ISIS attacks at all, which is quite interesting, because next to Al-Bab is Manbij, where ISIS terrorist attacks occur nearly every week. So to sum up, we need a new attempt against ISIS, in which local governance has to be implemented. And this cannot be achieved with the YPG, and stability, as we see now, cannot be achieved with the YPG. And with the US withdrawal, hopefully there will be a new attempt in which local governance will establish stability to eliminate the road course of ISIS.
OK, just briefly, if you don't mind, Omar, but before I ask you even the question, let's make it clear to the viewer that the Syrian Democratic Forces, and the reason you're mentioning YPG repeatedly, the SDF is mostly made up of the YPG terror group. OK, so in terms of the longer-term security, when do you expect Turkey to begin some sort of operation, whatever that might be, to then secure its border area with Syria and with Iraq? This operation that's been hinted at for months now.
So in regards to Syria, there are negotiations going on between the US and the Turkish part. And actually, there's now a safe zone which is being discussed at 20 miles. However, we see that the negotiations are progressing slowly, and the timetable is on the agenda. The US will leave. And if Turkey and the United States can't achieve a deal for the east of the Euphrates, it's expectable that Turkey will take unilateral actions. But however, there is some progress, especially in regards to Manbij. And if we speak about Iraq, the situation is much different than from Syria. because actually ISIS is an Iraqi-originated terrorist organization. And in contrast to Syria, they have more popular support in Iraq because of the alienation of the Sunni Arab population there. And we see that the governance issue problem in Iraq couldn't be solved. There's still huge issues and huge problems with the Iraqi government. And for Turkish security concerns, the PKK is more a priority in Iraq.
Omer Ozkizilcik, we really appreciate your time. Thank you.